from our perspective, obviously, we lowered the height. The massing was reduced quite dramatically to give it character, which is what the DBC members asked for. And obviously, you take a hit as a developer, but you do want to see something there which will be, as Jonas has said, iconic. And I believe this last design that Jonas has created, both myself and my brother, when we saw it the first time, were very enthusiastic about it. So yeah, we feel really, really happy about it.
It's a very important point, a landmark for this project, because it's been a long, arduous process that started for us years ago, and as far as the planning authorities are concerned, roughly at the beginning of this year. So it's not, I think design-wise, it's been an iterative process. So we've gone through a long process of consultations with all the different members, and the design has developed as a result of that. So what we've reached now is not sort of the end point, because it will continue from here, but it's an important milestone along this way for us, because it means that we have an agreement in principle on the scheme for a site, which after all is very complex and challenging for a number of reasons.
Some of the members of the DPC weren't sure how to approach this issue of height and massing. What sort of how did you deal with that from an architectural perspective?
I think it's understandable, and we fully appreciate and partake in the same concerns that members of the Commission has. That the guideline document that exists in this respect, the development plan, I think many people are aware of, provides guidance, but which is ultimately leaves a lot of scope for consideration on a case-by-case basis by the Development and Planning Commission. So we're aware of the fact that obviously it's a building of significant height in an area where we're standing in front of a very iconic landmark element for Gibraltar, which is the north face. And we've never hidden away from that fact. And what we've tried to do is have an honest dialogue with the people from the Commission, give as full of a picture as possible of realistically what the effect is going to be of our building, and how we think it can contribute to the context that it sits in as well.
One of the things that we haven't talked about, which was touched upon at the DPC in those discussions, is the safety, relative safety, given the possibility of rockfalls.
Yeah. Well, from the day one, after the major rockfall, it was our first point of call. The plot has to be safe. Not only for the public, but also for the site during the construction of it. So we engage, with the advice from the planners, with Golders, and then took it over to technical services, and they've been the one leading on it. So I think that the OEC couldn't be in better hands than them.
Okay. So to summarize or paraphrase some of the things that were said at the DPC meeting, you think that the site or the area generally will be safer as a result of this development, should you be able to go ahead now that you've got the outline planning permission?
Definitely, yes. It's a robust mitigation measures that we're putting into place. It's not only, as was referred in the DPC, not just only our plots, but it's the whole area. It stretches over 90 linear meters, so it protects both sides. Obviously, the general public, on that road towards it. Apart from the building, as you will obviously appreciate, has no fenestration on the rear, so obviously it's a reinforced concrete, wall that will also act as a defensive measure if there were to be any further recurrence of major rockfalls.